In 1863, the Nez Perce Indians were told to move to a reservation, a place much smaller than the land they had before. To the Indians, the answer was simply no. Chief Joseph was one of the many chiefs who refused to leave his land. Chief Joseph was a Nez Perce chief and a great diplomat. He was a man who fought with words and didn't believe in violence. Sadly, his words weren't enough. His band was forced onto the reservations. His birth name was Hainmat Tu Yala Keket, meaning thunder rolling in the mountains. He was born in the Wallowa Valley in eastern Oregon in the year 1840. Hainmat Tu Yala Keket was baptized into the Christian church when he was 2 years old. His father's cherished copy of the New Testament provided young Joseph with his most important lessons. Our fathers gave us many laws, which they had learned from their fathers. These laws were good. They told us to treat all men as they treated us, as we should never be the first to break a bargain, that it was a disgrace to tell a lie, that we should speak only the truth. We were taught to believe that the Great Spirit sees everything and hears everything, and that he never forgets, that hereafter he will give every man a spirit home according to his deserts, recalled Chief Joseph.
In 1855, there was a treaty council held in Walla Walla, Washington. It established the borders for their land and made it into an official reservation. Only Indians were permitted to live in the borders, unless they gave permission to others to live there. They also had the right to fish in the streams and rivers within their borders. The government would give money to the tribes who signed the treaty. Chief Joseph's father signed the treaty in order to protect their land, but he refused to take any of the money or gifts that came with it. In 1860, gold was discovered in Nez Perce lands. People began settling on their lands, disregarding the borders.
Another treaty council was held in 1863. The treaty was a newer version of the Treaty of 1855. It said that the Indians would get a much smaller piece of land than they had in the old treaty. The new treaty allowed the Indians to refuse for a settler to live there unless employed by the U.S. government. Chief Joseph's father refused to sign this treaty and left after tearing up his beloved copy of the New Testament. 2 days later, a Nez Perce chief named Lawyer acted as an agent for all Nez Perce people and sold their land.
When Joseph's father died, he told Joseph to not sign any treaties selling their land. When you go into council with the white man, always remember your country. Do not give it away. The white man will cheat you out of your home. I have taken no pay from the United States. I have never sold our land, said the old Chief Joseph. The old Chief Joseph died in 1871. 2 years later, young Chief Joseph was summoned to the Lapwai Reservation. The white man has no right to come here and take our country. I did not want to come to this council, but I came hoping that we could save blood. Our fathers were born here. Here they lived, here they died, here are their graves. We will never leave them. Chief Joseph loved his people and his land. It was their home.
His words were powerful. The Indian agents listened to him and believed him. General Howard said, "I think it is a great mistake to take from Joseph and his band of Nez Perce Indians that valley. The white people really do not want it. Possibly, Congress can be induced to let these really peaceful Indians have this poor valley for their own."
In 1873, President Ulysses S. Grant ordered the people that had moved on to the Nez Perce land to get off of their land. He made the Wallowa Valley part of the reservation. In 1875, the presidential order was reversed, and the Nez Perce were ordered to the Lapwai Reservation. Chief Joseph decided to go without fighting, but then a few angry Indians who wanted revenge for unpunished murders of fellow Nez Perce Indians came and killed 4 white settlers in the night. While the Nez Perce were encamped, friendly Indians convinced them that if they surrendered the responsible Indians, that the government would let them go free. However, when the Indians, under a white flag, approached an army group to discuss this possibility, some of the civilians with the army opened fire on them. The Indians fought back, and in the battle that followed, 34 whites were killed, most of them settlers.
This made the general mad. The Indians fled from the white man to Canada on a 1,500-mile march, only to be caught 50 miles from the border. The white men shot at people from every corner. This war lasted 5 long days. It broke Joseph's heart. I am tired of fighting. Our chiefs are killed. It is cold. We have no blankets, no food. The little children are freezing to death. My heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever.
Chief Joseph and his tribe were forced onto reservations and were moved from place to place. Even in the end, when all his people were dying or dead, he used his words. Sometimes he fought, but only in the worst situations. He and his tribe could have gone out in war paint every time and fought for their land back. But Chief Joseph told his tribe not to. They spoke to the white men and tried to make peace. The white men didn't listen, but they had a reason to. The Nez Perce were Indians. They thought they were just like most of the other tribes, brutal. They didn't give them a chance. This didn't just happen to the Nez Perce, but to tribes all over the U.S. This is why this story is important to us. It teaches us that we don't always need war to solve things. Most importantly, this story is an inspiration for those who are looking for recognition as human beings.